that money, I ain't stopping. Steady grinding for that paper like a nigga. Alright, so we back, man. We are officially back, Twitch, man. Hey, so just had to let everybody know before we started up anything. You know me, we now we you know me, we live on Twitch and we live on TikTok right now. You know me, got our own little mojo going, man. You know me, but basically today, of course, we just was talking about relationships. We just was talking about the man with the little mustache, man. You know me, and how he was telling the truth and all this extra stuff. And we also was talking about Kanye. But today we're gonna be breaking down basically why the simulation even exists. You know me? And the reason why we even be breaking that down is because you gotta understand, like, the reason why this planet or this plane or whatever you want to call it, the reason why this exists or we have this to live on. The reason why we had this is because eventually like when they first made it, the Earth, it was first made to be a training simulator almost. Like you can look at it as that, but it was almost like a training simulator for your soul. What I mean by that, I mean your soul was just here to basically train to understand how to use emotion and create through emotion. For example, you think, you feel based off the feeling. If you vibrate with it the most, depending on what thought it is, you may act on it. For example, your girl make you mad, you may think about the shit that motherfucker made you mad type shit on bruh. If your feelings are strong enough in that moment, I guarantee that you're gonna act on it. And the reason that you're gonna act on it is because your emotions is gonna control the motherfucking, the way of life or the simulation or whatever the fuck you want to call it type shit. So basically, what you gotta understand again, this jank was just nothing but a motherfucking training simulator for your motherfucking soul. If you don't believe me, there's plenty of motherfucking near-death experiences that you can watch on YouTube or whatever, and they talk about, leaving the body in or XYZ, and basically the other side being nothing but a place where your soul is basically here to create with no bound. And here your soul can create, but it's with restriction. But still, I guess the concept of this place again was to train you and to make you grow. But I guess like through the time, religions, all this extra stuff came out. People started to I'm gonna say they started to brainwash it, and they started to pervert what was the actual reason for being here. And the reason they did, the reason that they did was because I believe the people who are in and higher up, they just I would say they just became too obsessed with the physical world. What I mean by they became too obsessed with the physical world, I mean the money, the females, the cars, the clothes, all the extra stuff. You know me, like the power, like the being in a position to tell a nigga, hey, go here, go there, do that, all the extra shit. You know me, they fell in love with that. And that's what I mean by the people who ran this world. Like, they almost, they basically corrupted themselves. They corrupted their damn self. Because at the end of the day, every soul, when we came here in the beginning, we all knew what this place was. We all knew it was fake. It's not nothing to be, taken serious. Like as your soul, you live for eternity. Right here, you only live for like 80 years, bro. You hear me? 80 years is not shit compared to eternity. But as a soul, you knew this when you came before type shit, if you get what I'm saying. But over time, again, like, as far as like what they have now, as far as like schools and stuff like that, as far as, red light, green light, you know me, like just the basic outside noise that keeps you trapped. Like it's all literally down to that. That's what I mean. So boom. That's what I mean as far as like the simulation and how it works and shit. And you gotta basically understand how it keeps you trapped. And the reason is because a lot of people are trapped. You know me? Like I told y'all in the last video, bro. You know me? Let's say for with a motherfucking relationship on bruh. It's a lot of men and it's a lot of women trapped based off of motherfucking love or we just gonna call it submission on bruh, because the reason why most people submit is because of it's just out of love, bro. At the end of the day, near me, I'll say fuck what I got going on out of the love for you type shit. That's all submission is. It's like fuck what I got going on. I'll put it all on hold as long as you can have what you can have first, and then maybe I'll work on mine later type shit on bruh. That's all that it was. But it grew to something more type shit on bruh. Like now slavery is everywhere. It's literally in your face, but most people just can't see it type shit because they give you the illusion of being free. They give you the illusion of having choice, and they do that with the money. So basically it's it's just a lot. Let me look on the board because you know need topics. Boom. So boom. How do you escape this matrix? Basically, the way that you actually escape this matrix is you have to understand you are the controller. What I mean by you are the controller, everybody probably, you know, played GTA before. Understand, when you play GTA, the world does not happen around the character. The character happens around the world. And that's what's happening with you right now. You just don't understand. Everybody thinks that the world is happening to them, when in reality, you are happening to the world. So once you start to once you start to understand that, you can, you know, start to change and control your reality in real time. So boom. Hear me? Me, I live by a motto. I always say, do the right thing all the time, no matter the strain on the body, because again, worst case, you pass out. But luckily, most tasks that we have as human beings, we won't pass out type shit. Unless you working out, doing some extra big geek and shit, you hear me? Then you might pass out. But most tasks, you won't pass out. So what I mean by this is, boom, understanding, of course, what right or wrong is. Again, understanding that the concept of right or wrong is actually flawed. It all is dependent based off of the soul's, you know, perspective type shit. So, boom, whatever feels right for your soul in that moment, that's what you go with every single time. Do not listen to the outside noise, bruh. Like, for example, let's say for me, I'm supposed to be on live right now. I'm on live right now. Let's say if I would have got on my phone and scroll through TikTok or some shit like that. You hear me? I probably would have never been, you know, on live giving y'all this motherfucking message, you know, on Twitch, on TikTok right here. You hear me? Bruh, like, I probably would have been doing some whole other shit because, again, you hear me? You gotta, like once you get the thought, you gotta literally act on it, bruh. Like, and because the only reason I'm saying that is because, like, you gotta understand, you're not dead yet, bro. Your soul is not out of the body. You can't just create from thin air. You still create from thin air in here type shit, but you still have to use the body as a vehicle to get everything done, if you get what I'm saying. You hear me? Like, that's basically what the body is for. You hear me? The body is nothing but your creation tool type shit. You hear me? Like your tool to work magic or to warp reality in real time, if you get what I'm saying. You hear me? So that's what I want you guys to basically start to understand. Like, again, you have the power. They want you to think that you don't got the power, but I promise you that you got the power, bro. You hear me? If you think that you don't got the power, it's 9 times out of 10 just because you looking on the outside. You hear me? What I mean by looking on the outside, I mean you're probably looking at, again, the jobs to say you. Motherfucking your boyfriend to say you, your girlfriend to say you. You looking at God to come down here and say you or whatever type shit, bruh. You hear me? In reality, again, you have to do what you have to do now to change whatever you have going on, bruh. You got to understand, God already gave you everything, bro. What the fuck? Like, the moment God give you another blessing, now everything become unfair. Because why the fuck is he blessing you and he ain't blessing me more type shit? You hear me? You got to understand that. You hear me? So it's just like, we all are gifted. We all are blessed with the same amount of shit, bro. We all got the same 24 hours in our day. It just depending on who gonna use the 24 and how they gonna use it, bro. So that's why I always be saying, God ain't picking on you, nigga. The fuck? God ain't picking on nobody, bro. You hear me? Yeah, your situation may seem a little different, but I promise he's like, everybody's gonna feel the same exact pain, bro. Pain, like, again, pain is nothing but perspective, bro. Because at the end of the day, you hear me? It's somebody out here who's mad because they just lost their car. And there's somebody out here who just mad because they lost their girlfriend. So you got to think, they both going through the same pain, same struggle, X, Y, Z. But it's just that they're just going through two different experiences. The feeling of pain is still the same in them. So that's what I mean by there is no real concept of right or wrong. So once you start to understand this, you can start to understand, okay, if nothing is real, I can start to, control this shit. Because, of course, what I mean by nothing being real as far as the concept of right and wrong, I want you to understand it only becomes real once you or the soul allow it to be so. For instance, type shit, bruh. If you feel something is wrong, 9 times out of 10, your soul is going to reflect that. Bruh, 9 times out of 10,
steady running to that money, I ain't stopping. Steady grinding for that paper like a nigga.